Now, would it surprise you if I told you that Facebook was still allowing Russia to interfere in politics? Yeah, it's true, you know. Russian-backed groups are still using political ads to subvert democratic process. This time in Moldova. Well, Nikolai Fratier, well, he's on a mission, he is. On his Facebook timeline. He wants to rid himself of all these weird political adverts. Now, every couple of days, he says that he's presented with accounts that, on the face of it, they appear to be rather innocuous, innocent. But they share this same, well, innocuous profile picture of a cathedral in Moldova. But when he scrolls past these pages, well, they present him with what he describes as soft propaganda, trying to entice him to join an anti-government protest. Well, the ads, they echo the political messages of Ilan Shor, a sanctioned politician. That's a loose term. And businessman, with deep links to the Kremlin. Now, he has been accused by the US government of trying to destabilize Moldova on behalf of the Russian government. Now, back in February, these ads helped promote Moldova's most recent anti-government rally in the capital, in Chisinau, which was was attended by thousands of people. You see, Putin, he's playing his old tricks again. He's trying to destabilise governments, creating a divide between the people. Now, Brexit and Russia's invasion, full-scale invasion of Ukraine back in February 2022, well, it was presaged by years of dark propaganda campaigns, either directly with Russia and by Russia, or by some strange banking arrangements, such as the dubious donations by Aaron Banks for the Leave campaign. Now he was exposed, wasn't he? By Carol Colwalder. Luckily, he didn't win his case, against her. Well, operations which used propaganda and networks on social media to spread misinformation, influence elections, and undermine social cohesion. Now, Meta, that owns Facebook and Instagram, well, they've been at it again. Now, they say that they're promising to crack down on these state-backed influence campaigns. And that was in response to the war in Ukraine. What about Brexit? Oh my God, what happened there? Cambridge Analytica? AIQ? All duped. Well, they say that they're taking extensive steps to fight the spread of misinformation. That's what they say. I don't know if you remember when I'm trying to get in with a weird hairdo from Facebook to Mark Zuckerberg. They're going to a select committee meeting to be scrutinised. He was like a robot. Well, they said back in January that in a report detailing its wartime policies, Meta's that is. Well, they're presenting this to the EU, you see, because these companies such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, they're a bit afraid of the EU, you see. Because the EU, well, they could block them, and if they did block them, well, that's a massive loss of potential people to advertise to. 447 million people for a start. Now, we established, they say, a special operations centre staffed by experts from across the company, including native Russians and Ukrainian speakers, who are monitoring the platform around the clock. They are 24/7, allowing us to respond to issues in real time. Now, Moldova, however, well, appears to fall outside that purview, despite sharing a border with Ukraine. Now, the influence campaigns being waged in Moldova, we're seeing basically Kremlin agents running overt campaigns on Facebook, trying to bring down democratic governments by mobilising sham protests via Facebook ads. Now, in the months immediately after Russia launched its full-scale assault on Ukraine, Moldova, well, was rather worried that it couldn't be in the... Well, yeah, I was worried that it was going to be Russia's next target, military target. Now, especially as Russia, well, his army's already pushed towards the nearby Ukrainian city of Odessa. And about 1,500 Russian soldiers are already stationed in Transnistria. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but hey, it's a breakaway region anyway of Moldova. Well, Russia's influence operations often focus on trying to push specific political parties or even agendas, but to try put that wedge in between. Undermining trust in governments, for instance. if that's the Russians are doing regarding our British government, I think, crikey, they did an amazing job. But I don't think so. I think it's probably, well, the Tories managed to do that for themselves. Okay, yeah, then you got Brexit. But yeah, Lithuanian fact-checkers, anyway, from the group Delphi Mello Dictatoris, well, they say that they are witnessing attempts to drive through about an EU law approving, the sale of insect powder. Yes, insect powder. High-protein insect powder. Apparently it's really healthy to be added into foodstuffs and stuff. Yeah, for human consumption. We're all going to eat bugs like locusts and stuff. Crunchy. In some countries they do that already. China, for instance. Well, now in several countries, notably Poland, Russia, has been accused of pushing disinformation about LGBTQI communities in Moldova. Now, the current messaging focuses on the high prices of utility bills. Got to blame something, you see, which have surged since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Now, this is just part of Russia's, playbook. This is Putin all over. Now, a Moldovan think tank. Oh, yes, they have think tanks too. ERG, anyone? Oh, my God. I wonder who they're funded by. I wonder. Just ask Suella Braverman. She won't tell you. Well, a Moldovan think tank that has been tracking disinformation and online influence campaigns, that is. Now, if you can't convince someone to endorse your version of events, you can at least try and confuse people until they don't trust anything. And that's pretty much what's happened in the United Kingdom. That's what I say. Even when the government does anything that is, could be considered as, that's a good idea. We shoot them down in flames because we just don't trust them. And it's understandably so. Brexit. Pushing that narrative when the people are saying, we want to rejoin the EU. 59%, whatever it is now. But they're still pushing that negative narrative, which is crippling the United Kingdom. I know we're not going to be rejoining the EU anytime soon. Obviously, I would love that to happen, but I can't see it. Not in my lifetime, anyway. But at the very least, we should be looking at some kind of closer alignment with the EU. So at least we can trade. And not stepping on each other's toes. Not constantly trying to poke a finger in everyone else, in the opposition's eyes. I suppose some would argue that Richie Sunak might, be a breath of fresh air. of a criminal, in some ways. When you look at the Windsor framework, that is definitely an improvement on the Northern Ireland Protocol. It's not perfect, by no means, and it's still a disaster. Green and red lanes, anyway? Anyone? Well, I can't see that actually being of any use. No, that's going to be a logistical nightmare. Anyway, what do you think? Please leave it in the comments down below. Oh, I forgot about my secret word of the day. What can that be? Oh, I know. When I think about Russia, I'm going to think about a James Bond film, GoldenEye. Yeah, GoldenEye. That is my secret word of today. Is GoldenEye, which is a movie. And somebody said in the comments, yes, I do read the comments. Why do you always have a secret word of the day? Well, sometimes I have more than one. But, you know. So what? Anyway, time for me to go, but please beat the old like button, because it helps the channel, you know. And if you want to support us, you can do that on Patreon or buy us a coffee, and the links are down below in the description. And it is very much appreciated that it is. It really is, because I couldn't do it without it. I really couldn't. And we're doing a rewilding here, which you probably already know about, but I'm going to repeat it. It's 1,000 trees planting on 2 hectares of land here in France. And yeah, you can be a part of that. There's a GoFundMe down below, so you can buy a tree. I'll put a tree in the ground on your behalf, and also make a sign to go with that tree, so it becomes, your tree. Also, it could be in memory of somebody, if you like. So anyway, it's all about the animals, you see, and the birdies. Giving them habitat. It's a rewilding project, you see. Makes me feel quite at home. I can go grazing. No? Okay. Yeah, I'll leave it there. Yeah, I think it's time to go, isn't it? Yeah, I think so, before I say too much.